Medical Intuitive Insights with your host, Dr. Gloria Warren, is a program that presents topics on medical intuition, holistic opportunities outside of mainstream society, and scientific research as applied today. Topics range from online intuitive readings to interviews unveiling alternative healing modalities and discussing them with inspirational leaders. Dr. Warren is the bridge within holistic arts while stressing the balance between the spiritual and physical self. So now, please welcome the host of Medical Intuitive Insights, Dr. Gloria Warren.
You feel confused about your diagnosis? Are you having symptoms that have not been explained to you? Perhaps you have a family member that's confused and not getting straight answers about their physical condition and why they're having these problems. Well, live now, you're watching Medical Intuitive Insights. I am your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren, and we welcome you, our guests, to our show. So this is where science meets soul. Well, you're here today, and we have a special guest, which is ERIN, our patient today, and our expert, Dr. Patricia Broderick. That is Dr. Patricia to us, who will actually provide insights to the pros and cons of the psychological impact on immunity. It's not just immunity problems sometimes, it's always the psychological impact on immunity. So we're always glad to have her here. And she'll provide further insights, pros and cons as we move along on the psychological impact. So we welcome any live questions you may have. You can text me 715-892-7500, or perhaps you're watching this through YouTube. You can go ahead and text questions in the comment area. Just remember though, you are the star of the show too. So we're always glad to have you. So we're here today to explore the possibilities for the diagnosis regarding any of the topics for psychological impacts on immunity, better known as the study of psychoneuroimmunology. This is a subject matter that I really enjoy researching. It's wonderful. And this is one of the expertise areas of Dr. Patricia. First, please welcome to our show our patient, ERIN. Hi, ERIN. How are you today?
Hi, ERIN.
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yes, and we have Dr. Patricia. Dr. Patricia is here in the middle, by the way, and then ERIN has glasses on, right? So we are here to assist you, our viewers, and to increase your power, your energy, and self-sustainability through the understandings of the positive truths and the negative portions as well. So we will continue on here. So as a star patient, ERIN, thank you for being part of our show. Are you ready for a mini medical intuitive reading?
I'm ready.
Okay, so what we're going to do here today is give her a mini medical intuitive reading so you, our viewers, can see what we do. Before the show, ERIN sent me some photographs of both sides of her hands, the top of her feet, her face, and both sides of her body, fully clothed, of course. Normally, we don't want to know anything about the patient. So with ERIN specifically, we did not know anything other than something is correlated to the psychoneuroimmunology relationship there. So let's move on here. So a normal medical intuitive reading is 1.5 to 2 hours. In this case, we only have 5-10 minutes, maybe 15. So with those photographs, I reviewed them and I looked at them really closely, and I tried to find everything I could find within a short time frame. So we're going to move along with that. You are watching Medical Intuitive Insights. Dr. Patricia, are you ready to give your views on what you see here today and how you can help ERIN about all this? That's wonderful.
Yes,
and we're so grateful to have Dr. Patricia. Yeah. What is your background? Can you tell them like what you do for a living?
Sure. I'm a medical professor at the City University of New York Medical School and the Department of Molecular, Cellular, and Biomedical Sciences. My background is a doctorate in pharmacology, and I am an expert in pharmacology, neuroscience, electrochemistry, and imaging. And I teach medical students and I teach physician's assistants.
So, and as the list goes on and on and on, so she is the perfect person here with us today. I'm an epidemiologist. I do deal a little bit with this, but she is more in depth in this specific area. So this is really going to be an exciting show today. Um, how do you feel about that, Erin, to be a part of this?
It's great to talk to you both in different sides of the spectrum here.
Uh-huh.
Right. And in case our guests didn't know, the psychology and the psyche and what you think affects your immunity directly. And that's why we're doing this show today, because, you know, as as we move along in our lives and our hectic lives in the community, sometimes we have a lot of stress, and especially this time of year. We're going to be approaching a lot more stress as it gets towards the holidays. And this will help you have a better understanding on how these two things are correlated. So we're going to hear more about that as Dr. Patricia gets to her part in the show. So first, we're going to do the mini medical intuitive reading on Erin, and then we're going to hear from Dr. Patricia. And you know, this is a discussion format. So while we want Dr. Patricia to say what she feels all of our viewers need to hear, we are going to have a few questions back and forth. So we are going to have a commercial break to hear from our sponsors. You're watching Medical Intuitive Insights. I am your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren, and you won't want to miss Erin's medical intuitive reading. So stay right there. We'll be right back.
Mike Zoric, a three-time California state champion in Greco-Roman wrestling at 114 pounds. Mike, blind since birth, was born in Hartford, Connecticut. He was a six-time national placer, including 2 seconds, 2/3, and 2/4. He also won the Veterans Folk-Style Wrestling twice at 152 pounds. In all these tournaments, he was the only blind competitor. Nancy Zoric, a creative spirit whose talents have taken her to the stage and into galleries and exhibitions in several states. Her father, a commercial artist who shared his instruments with his daughter and helped her fine-tune her natural abilities, influenced her decision to follow in his footsteps. Ms. Zoric has enjoyed a fruitful career doing what she loves. Listen Saturday mornings at 12 Eastern for the Nancy and Mike Show for heartwarming stories and interesting talk.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back. Are you ready for Erin's reading, her mini medical intuitive reading? Erin? Do you have any questions about the
Bring it
reading?
on.
So,
I'm a question asker. I'll have lots after.
okay, sounds good. So for our audience, just so you know the process, what I did was I looked at her photographs. Always in person is always best. Cannot replace in person. However, I do get a good feel, and I can't see things through the art of intuition and and remote viewing. These are these are two things also that the US government uses on whatever. They're common things. Remote viewing is very common with US government too. So it's not like it's something new. It's just this is the way I was born, and I do it through my ministries and have for over 40 years. Love what I do. So, ERIN, let me just start with you. We're going to do a verbal HIPAA. So, do you grant your permission for us to discuss your medical situation here on Medical Intuitive Insights? And it will also be in the reruns on various sites. Is that okay with you?
It is.
Okay. So, you sent me these pictures of the hands and everything else, and I started seeing things in the hands. And actually, if you want to pull up your photographs you sent me, by the way, nobody sees their photographs except for me. So pull up your photographs. I wanted to talk to you about your hands. We'll look at that first. That's really, let's see, where did I find them? I actually am seeing some parasites in your hands, and I'm going to show you where. I just got to find them back again. By the way, I am talking to you today from not in my normal office, but I am on site in Manitou Springs, Colorado. And it is absolutely wonderful here today. It's about in the 60s and beautiful sunny day. Very nice outside. Oh, really? Good. I'm glad to hear it. Not a lot of rain right now, right?
I am in the Chicagoland area, and
Woo.
it's close to 80, but yesterday was maybe 70. Oh, it's perfect. Did
You,
some
this
some
is
forest
gorgeous.
bathing yesterday with dogs.
I'm going to take
Oh,
it all year round. I put in my
nice.
order.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. Maybe I just checked the other hand. Um, I do not have my files while I'm here on this trip, so I am going to be meeting with some experts, which is really nice. But all right, look at your right hand pinky top first knuckle. It's very slight. There were some bigger areas. I'll get to that one in a second. Towards your fingernail, the top knuckle there, just I wish I could show them online, but I don't want to do that. What I'm trying to do is find there's little squiggly things under your skin here and there. Look at your second finger next to your pinky in that the larger knuckle right in the middle, like right there, sticking up. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a little squiggly in the middle. Those are some signs, but I was seeing them in the tissue. Are these the same photographs you sent me the other day? Or
They
were these
are.
new? They are.
Yep, these are the same.
They should be there. I actually just, well, I can show you later. Yep, okay, go up to your wrist and above your wrist, a couple inches above your wrist, right in the center of your arm there, I'm seeing a white dot. Do you see that white dot?
Mm-hmm.
You do? If you can
Yep.
enlarge it on your phone, that is actually a nematode, a little tiny worm sticking up through the skin. I'm just letting you know. It's not, yeah, it's okay. Everybody has them. I know it's like, no, there's it's not always something you got to be excited about because, just like the whales with those sucker fish sticking to them, there's a symbiotic relationship going on. And we live in a world full of many organisms. It's silly to think that they're not in our body at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of them make us sick, some of them do not, some of them make us even healthier, build our immunity. If you kill all the bacteria, like I believe in Western medicine, Eastern medicine, and everything in between, that's why I'm the bridge. So if you sick with pneumonia, you take antibiotics, right? Works the fastest, gets rid of it the quickest, we hope. But yes, but it's also going to kill some of the healthy bacteria. So then your immunity can drop after, and then you got to rebuild that up again, which you can. So that's always a good thing. I'm seeing, yeah, it's all correlated. Isn't that right, Dr. Patricia?
Correct. It
Yeah.
certainly is correlated. The
And
immune
I did,
system, the psyche, and the movement.
right. So it's best not to freak out about a physical condition. It's best just to keep going towards um, having good health and self-sustainability and balance. Let me look at the front of your top of your hands there. Okay, so anyways, that little white thing, I was seeing more of them before. I'm seeing a lot of things though on your whole body. I remember your pictures of your feet, ankles. I was seeing, oh, let's see. It's almost like little petechiae or whatnot. And it's what they call their immune markers. And it's what I would say as PV is the acronym for that specific situation where you get all these little tiny itchy type things on your skin, and they can be labeled as an autoimmune disorder. It's pemphigus vulgaris, I think is what they call it. But it can get itchy, and I'm noticing a lot of that throughout your whole body. Did you eat something funny? Are you having an allergic reaction to something when you took the photographs, or is that your
Uh,
usual?
it is not my usual. We got rats maybe 3 weeks ago, and pets, not the actual, not scary rodents like in New York. And
Mhm.
I've been having some
Some
reactions the
issues.
last couple of weeks. Hmm.
Okay, so I don't want to say, okay, your diagnosis is, and the reason is because you could be having an allergic contact dermatitis type of thing with having new animals in the house. They do
And
affect,
this is new.
yeah,
Hmm.
okay.
Oh,
So most likely it is correlated, not 100% positive because it's almost impossible until you remove it from your house. But do you have any plan on that? Like, are you going to keep them around or?
We're planning on it, but if I continue with an allergic reaction, even when I'm not near them, I'm much itchier the last couple of weeks. It's strange.
Right. The other thing to consider is they could have not necessarily fleas, but they could have little mites on them or gnats that come with them or any other little vermin that could be creating um, bites that you can't see, that like even like bed bug bites, you can't see them and you can get itching from them or whatnot. Animals do carry those things from home to home. It's just a consideration. So where you get your
Mhm.
pet may be something to look at. I don't know. Do you bathe for these rats, or is that something they do nowadays? I don't know about that.
They they clean themselves like cats,
All right. Is there any
and
way to
I
bathe
I
them, like using a good flea
I could
shampoo with pyrethrin? Yeah.
I could certainly attempt it. This is my first rat experience,
Like, first go at
and
it.
yeah, I got them from a rescue, and they had seen the vet, but I would be surprised if they really did a deep down
Yeah.
look at any mites or anything.
No,
So,
they probably can't see most of them, especially if like maybe there were some bed bugs stuck in their fur or whatnot. Um, the other thing is, you know, you got to consider too where you're getting your feed from and bedding, things like that. They carry different things. So it may not be the rats themselves. It may be something that they're carrying or is in their bedding or whatnot. Um, but let's keep going with your reading. All right. So yeah, that was pretty much full body as I see it, give or take a few little areas. Thank God there wasn't a lot on your face, but I did see that there were itchy parts on your legs and hands and things like, not hands necessarily, but I could see that you were having a little problem with that. Um, I was asked because you're on the show to look at your immunity, and I'm really having a difficult time with that. I'll be honest with you. Were you diagnosed with an immunity disorder, but don't tell me what?
yes.
You were. Okay. I'm not seeing it readily on the photographs. That's usually odd because usually I can see things like Crohn's disease or MS or anything else like that. I'm not directly seeing that. So I am going to ask you, one of the first times I've asked on my show, what was your diagnosis?
MS.
I knew you were going to say that. I just knew it. That I just knew it because here's the thing: MS is one of the most largest neurological disorders that is misdiagnosed. And I have seen at least 20 MS patients in my life, and 19 of them did not have MS. They had some other disorder, which I've either labeled to other things like TIAs, which is transischemic attacks, or a central nervous problem just with their psychoneuroimmunology, such a scenario. So no surprise to me, definitely. How do you feel about that diagnosis, Dr. Patricia?
It's right on. Can I ask
Yeah.
you? Can I ask a question at this point? Uh, where were your rats bred?
That's a good question. They were rescues. So they were from a person who had some rats for pets and they just became uncontrollable. And so a whole bunch of them went to different rescues.
Oh, do you know why they became uncontrollable?
I think that accidentally the owner had some male and females get together that shouldn't have. And I think the population kind of exploded.
Uh-huh.
So it sounds like they
Overpopulation.
started out. Yeah, this sounds like
Mhm.
they started out with just some pets and it just exploded.
Oh, this all makes sense. I have some ideas.
Please go right ahead.
Okay, I'll seize the moment. Uh, all right, Emma, can you tell me what your movements are like? Your particular movements. What do you experience?
Physical, I have weakness
Before
more
any,
so in
when did the rats
mm,
arrive?
maybe 3 weeks ago,
Okay, okay,
and I was
and
diagnosed at 19.
Mm.
oh, and then you never had the formication. Okay, we have to be careful of the N in there and the M in there. The difference between fornication and formication. If I can put a little humor here. Um, this is formication from the Latin formica. Okay, so can you tell me about your particular movement, your musculoskeletal condition? Yeah, before the rats and then after the rats. And I think
I
it's
don't know that I've
great.
noticed.
Yeah, I think it's great that you have rats as pets because
My
they,
son's teacher had some and fell in love. They're really great.
you know, that their
They get a bad
brains
rap,
are closer to the human brain than the monkey.
Oh, I didn't
and
know
they're
that.
so sweet. I believe it. Yeah, they're so smart and they're so sweet.
And I've
Yes.
studied
So
for
I
many years an immune deficient animal, which was a Rhodus norvegicus. But keep on going, Erin. This is extremely stimulating.
Yes, and I love to consume this information, so I can't wait to hear what you have to say. So I don't know that I've noticed anything specific since I've had the rats, other than some hives and itching and other things. um, but as far as my movements, it's been quite some time since I was diagnosed, and I've definitely had flare ups. Well, I have some weakness, uh, my lower extremities, more so on my left hand side. So I trip when I walk sometimes. You know, stress definitely exacerbates symptoms in the condition for sure. I've had different symptoms at different times. I've had some weakness in my hands. Again, on the left is more so, and numbness. Um,
Yes, yes,
I Yep.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
Tense.
I can't run anymore. I'll fall. I'll fall if I run, and try and lift up my feet that quickly.
When you use silverware, is it the silver, is it a conductor, or do you use the plastic?
I use silverware.
Okay.
I
And the
use
silverware doesn't cause any tingling.
Not that I've noticed.
Okay. All right. It's
No, and
something
that's something that I'm going to have to
to
pay
get
more
it.
attention to.
Yeah. Okay. Keep on going, please.
Uh,
S-
yeah, I've
Go
had.
ahead.
Oh, no, actually, I'll have you go some more, and then I'll fill in.
Yeah,
Okay.
what did they use to base your diagnosis on, other than your
It was
fatigue?
eliminating. So there's fatigue. I was numb up to, the lower rib cage. I was tripping. The first doctor I went to, I said, I'm tripping. My feet are numb. I'm having these issues. And he looked at me and said, you're imagining things. So, so I went traveling for the summer. And by the end of the summer, I couldn't walk. It would take me 10, 15 minutes to climb a flight of stairs. It was awful. Um,
Did you do
so came
anything
home and
unusual that summer? And
I followed the Grateful Dead.
well, did you change altitude during that summer?
I I was all over the US.
Okay, so your altitude
I
was not, consistent.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is something that can trigger those type of symptoms too. Um,
Can I just
uh,
say something? I
Go
just
right
want
ahead.
to, before anything else, I am sorry you're sick. That's the first thing I want to say. Okay. My
Absolutely.
heart goes out to you, because to be normal versus to be sick is not easy. And your attitude is absolutely impressive. And it's bringing
Yeah.
tears to my eyes. Yeah.
Oh,
You don't see
thank you.
them.
I was just happy to know what was wrong with me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Because you're
s-
smart and you're curious and you want to know. Yeah.
I definitely want to know. That's why this is going to be so great. This is so interesting.
I'm really going strongly in my mind on the immune part. I mean, that naturally the walking part, uh, immune challenges changes the more walking. I have a lot, we have a lot of data on psychoneuroimmunology, the exact connection between, I shouldn't say exact as a scientist, I'm sorry, but the connection between psycho and neuro and immune. Okay, what we did was we studied an immune challenged rat. Okay, which you see, this is close to my heart. I work with humans also. We've had the probe. I've invented a tiny little probe, smaller than a human hair, and it sees inside the brain. And it sees an awful lot. And we can see the psychiatric parts of the brain, exactly what causes movement and how neurotransmitters act with that, and how the immune function changes the psyche and changes the walking. And in the immune challenged animal, oh, so cute, beautiful, fawn footed, depressed. He's depressed. uh, I didn't have females at that particular time. I do, well, we do. I'm sorry. I'm at the human part now. So, but we
Mhm.
do a lot of um, studies like in the Chediak Higashi syndrome, platelet deficiency. And when they are given cocaine, they just sit and they look at you like, so what? They don't have serotonin, so they can't
Mhm.
react. You see, and they look at you very sadly. Um, then we get to the immune function, and that's what I want to get to now. I'm having thoughts like crazy on this immune function, because we can go to anti-parasitic drugs. We don't want to go there. We can go to antibiotics. We don't want to go there.
Hmm.
I want to go to the immune system. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not convinced that it's MS. I mean, what definitive information did they give you? I mean,
So
everything that
the
you've
plaques.
described, pardon me, they're finding plaque?
Oh, yep. So there were plaques in my brain. Um, they
Okay.
found something in my spine, which is right where the
Now we're
numbness
getting
from
down
there
to
down.
it here. Okay, because what you were describing to me could be peripheral neuropathies, and that's the same exact symptoms that you just had. And B12 deficiencies would cause the same symptoms you've had: chronic inflammatory disease, myasthenia gravis, fibromyalgia. You know, there's other things that would cause the exact same things. But when you're talking plaque and things with your spine, it does add a little more advanced. I mean, there is no 100% definitive with MS. Okay, unless you're dead and they do an autopsy, and we don't want that. So,
Well,
you know, it's just
I'm
something to consider. There are some other things that I'll talk to you about when uh, Dr. Patricia is finished with all of her insights. But there are other things that I want you to ask your doctor to do, like a B12 blood test and things like that as well. Because, you know, there's not just one cause of plaque in your brain. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I work in a process of elimination. Um, Dr. Patricia, I think you work with evidence, basically, evidence related situations, correct?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we each work from a different perspective, shall we say. And we just hope that um, we can all come to the same conclusion. And that doesn't always happen. And I don't know if it'll happen in this case here, but
I
either
I
way.
think so. It's whether you have the evidence or whether you have the intuition. Um,
Right,
you're still looking at neurotransmitters. You're still looking at
right.
genes and neurotransmitters. You're actually
Exactly.
looking at the movement disorder that's directed by the part of the brain that is actually producing the movement. And as the movement is produced, the neurotransmitter is produced. So we
Well,
have noted that as you take a step, serotonin moves. You take another step, it moves. You take another step, it moves in another
mm,
direction. Now, if you have something wrong with the brain, it's crooked. The movement is crooked. But if you
mm,
have a natural brain, the movement is in synchrony, perfect synchrony.
well,
It's
I
yeah.
hold
So
that thought, Dr. Patricia. It's that time again. We need to go to another commercial break. And when we come back, we'll continue this conversation with Dr. Patricia and ERIN. And there's information here slowly coming out that you really need to hear, especially if you've been diagnosed with MS,
yeah.
like ERIN has been diagnosed. So stay right there. We'll be right back right after these announcements.
Master of words, powerful player. What life-changing words can Dr. Janet Smith Warfield pull out of her magical toolbox that just might mysteriously open a door you never knew was there? A door to free yourself from fear forever. Transform your rage into right action. Release your guilt. Position you into a life of freedom, purpose, passion, power, and peace. All quite suddenly, unexpectedly, and almost miraculously, with no effort on your part. Join Dr. Janet on Dancing with Words, Dancing with Wisdom, as she and her guests show you how words map our experiences, immersing you in a sound bath that relaxes your muscles, opens your mind, and supports you in co-creating your extraordinary life. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Welcome back. You are watching Medical Intuitive Insights. I am your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren. We are here with our patient today, ERIN, who just mentioned that she was diagnosed with MS. And we're discussing different scenarios and then maybe some of the information she needs by Dr. Patricia here. And Dr. Patricia wasn't giving us some enlightenment just now. Please continue, Doctor.
I'm thinking about where was the plaque found in your brain? What specific part? Because I'm thinking of microglia and macrophages. So I'll tell you ahead of time what I'm thinking of. Microglia, which is also called macrophages. Okay? Because these eat pathogens. Okay? So instead of we can always go to antibiotics. We can also always go to antiparasitics, but let's go to our brains, our walking, our immune system, put it all together and see what we get. So what I want to throw out right away is microglia and macrophages mean the same thing. These are cells, white blood cells in the immune system. And we have a whole bunch of studies on cytokines, which are stressors. So the plaques in your brain, did the doctor say anything about the particular part of the brain?
They haven't, but I can go get all the X-rays. I have them,
Yes.
hold them up.
That's very important. She's right.
Yeah, get them
I
because
was gonna say,
Can you get them like within 30 seconds? Can you just get up and go grab them?
I don't know, 3 seconds.
I might be able to, but these are. Hold on, let me see if I can grab them real quick.
In the meantime, we'll have Dr. Patricia talk about some of those differences. But either way, I don't see specifically MS in our patient today. We're doing a recap. ERIN. I did not catch that. I did not see it. I thought of it when I asked her, what were you diagnosed with at the end of my mini viewing? But I knew she was going to say MS because it fits certain things. Now, Dr. Patricia is saying too that there could be other reasons why her test results are what they say, not necessarily MS. It is such misdiagnosed situation here. So, ERIN, you want to check and see, where did they notice the plaque? What part of your brain?
I was not able to find the X-ray. It was not. I must have moved it
Okay.
but I literally
That's
have a giant
talk later.
envelope.
Yep, and then I
That would
will
be great.
also, you will get Dr. Patricia's contact information too if you want to speak directly to her later on. But like I said, I just feel like there's something else going on. You do have parasites, and I was seeing that. I know you had hives, and I just kept thinking I don't think that was an immunity disorder that you had. I think it was more of your immunity reacting to something you're allergic to. And now you say about the rats and everything, and that makes perfect sense. Which, just for our viewers, that could be either the rats, or it could be the feed, or it could be the bedding. It could be just about anything, not necessarily the rats. And so she'll explore those options for her type of eczema throughout on her body. So in the meantime, Dr. Patricia was noting that the micro and microphagia as the white blood cells, and they do eat pathogens and everything. But please continue.
Sure. Okay, so they gobble up. These white cells gobble up the pathogens like what you have, exactly what you have. And so I think we should look at the T cells. Now, have you had any immune responses studied, such as the T cells and the B cells. I want to look exactly. Why do I keep saying exactly? Science. This is not an exact science. Forgive me. Okay. All right. So just forget I said exactly. We want to look at the T cells more so than the B cells, because the T cells are kill or be killed. There's two kinds. Um, there's a CD4 and there's a CD8. And we've studied this in the Chediac Higashi immune animal. And so this really relates to your situation. So uh, I see the beauty in the rats too. Or I've studied hundreds of thousands of rats. And also, we were in the operating room with the human epilepsy patient, and also in their brains in situ. However, I think that people do not know that rats have an absolutely beautiful personality. Um, and so this Chediac Higashi syndrome, uh, they're very beautiful too. They're brown and white, and their coat is gorgeous, and they are extremely depressed. Now, what happens is, well, in one of the studies that we did, we gave them interleukin 1A, which is a cytokine. A cytokine can act as a stressor, okay? And we know that stress does this to us. And when we studied the immune system, these animals, their T cells brought them through to saving their lives uh, from the fever. Okay, let me just go back to T cells and let's forget about B cells. B cells are involved with antibodies. Let's think about T cells. There's two kinds, CD4 and CD8. With our cute little Chediac Higashi guys, um, they they ended up okay in their immune system. Why? Because there's two kinds of T cells. There's the good kind and they're both good. The
Mhm.
CD8 kills the
The kill and
packet.
be killed cell types. Yeah.
The CD4, what the CD4 does, it gathers up all kinds of good things to help rather than kill. And the CD4, it'd be great if you had your CD4 cells and it's studied by what's called FACS, uh, the initials. We have tons of these studies, and I'm about to publish those particular studies where we found this, that show the CD4 and CD8 cells with these Chediac Higashi animals who do not live their whole lives. As you know, rats only live 2 years. And so in their second year, they're 60 years old. And our Chediac Higashi animals, um, they only live 6 months. Well, I want to tell you, our Chediac Higashi animals lived their whole lifetime. Okay, now that proves what Dr. Gloria uh, portrays, that if you have, and I portray it as well, that if you get back to health, you can defy all of these things. We can defy those nematodes coming out. Uh, we can get the right medicine through neurotransmitters. You know, what foods would give you the right tryptophan? Be careful there because only 5% of tryptophan gets changed in the brain. So that can
Right.
go into other detail, but nonetheless, the right foods do it. Um,
Okay.
The plaques. Okay.
We'll get back to the right foods and the plaque in just a moment. We need to take another commercial break. So stay right there. Don't go away. You really don't want to miss this. We'll be right back.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Master of words, powerful player. What life-changing words can Dr. Janet Smith Warfield pull out of her magical toolbox that just might mysteriously open a door you never knew was there? A door to free yourself from fear forever. Transform your rage into right action. Release your guilt. Position you into a life of freedom, purpose, passion, power, and peace. All quite suddenly, unexpectedly, and almost miraculously, with no effort on your part. Join Dr. Janet on Dancing with Words, Dancing with Wisdom, as she and her guests show you how words map our experiences, immersing you in a sound bath that relaxes your muscles, opens your mind, and supports you in co-creating your extraordinary life.
Welcome back to Medical Intuitive Insights. I'm your host, Dr. Gloria C. Warren. We have our patient here, ERIN, who was diagnosed with MS, but we are starting to question that, Dr. Patricia and I. So Dr. Patricia was right in the middle about talking about certain foods and how the brain can take some of those chemicals and not take some of those chemicals. Go right ahead, Dr. Patricia.
Certain foods that increase serotonin can help. See, what we want to do is take those T cells, and we want to kill those pathogens. Okay, so and there are, what we want to do is take those microglia, which are also called macrophages, and we want them to eat those nematodes. That's what we want them to do. So we need to build your immune system in such a, but first of all, we have to find out what it is. Because if your CD4 is greater than the CD8, then the ratio is 1. Okay, and that means you have the CD cells that are running out and getting all the help. They're the ones that run out and just grab a bucket of water because this guy just passed out, and throw the water. Just anything that helps. That's what they do. And they do it real fast. And they do that while the killer cells are killing the pathogens. So we want to balance the CD4 with the CD8. And so what do you think we get that test, Dr. Walker?
Well, I think the FACF study that you mentioned, I think that's very important for her at this point. And these are things that you need to ask your doctor and just say it was suggested to you by a university professor, Dr. Patricia, that she's a neuroscientist, that you have this study. I think you should also get a B12 blood test. Did they ever test that on you?
Yeah,
That's
they
a good
always
question. I mean, I
miss those sometimes. They have a lot to think about. They have a lot to weigh out. They have to look all over to try to come to their conclusions. And a lot of neurologists, they're just so embedded in their study that they sometimes, no matter what, even me, if I'm looking so much right here and I'm really focused here, am I going to see this here? I don't know. We're all human.
We see
So,
one part of the elephant. We see one part of the elephant, and
yeah,
it's the other part of the elephant that gives the. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I could say the writer Roald Dahl, okay, writer for children's books. Magic. You won't see the magic unless your brain is open. The magic is the secret. It's the place where everybody else is going to say you're not going to find it.
right. We're going to have to end on that note because we're really coming close to the end of the show. But Dr. Patricia Broderick, how can people get a hold of you?
Oh, it's CUNY Medical School uh, on Convent Avenue in
What was the
Manhattan.
name of that again? I didn't hear that the mic didn't pick it up.
Okay, the City University of New York School of Medicine in Manhattan, in not in mid Manhattan. It's in Harlem. Okay,
Okay.
so
Is there a phone number they could reach you?
or the phone number is 212-650-5479. And the email is Broderick. You're going to get me right away at all of these places. Broderick at med.cuny.edu.
Well, I thank you for being here today. And ERIN, I thank you. Medical Intuitive Retreats, first week in December. And if you would like a medical intuitive reading, 715-892-7500. It's a lot longer than what we were able to give for ERIN, but I will be speaking to her later today after the show. If you would like a full reading, contact me again, 715-892-7500. Text is best. So God bless us all here on the show. There for the grace of God go I. And I do appreciate a viewer. Please pass this on to anybody who needs it. There's a lot of people out there that can use this information. Don't let it sit. Get it somewhere. Get it where it needs to go. There's so many questions we need to ask and so many solutions if you look deep enough. You guys, God bless. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Amen.
This has been Medical Intuitive Insights with host Dr. Gloria Warren. Tune in each week as Gloria shares over 40 years of experience and yearns to provide knowledge derived from intuition and research. Wednesdays, 2 p.m. Eastern.